know it's backwards, but it says liberty and justice for who? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What? Land of the free, where? Equality, never. Why? And freedom, when? Thank you for joining my live today. This is my protest. I will be painting. There will be no music, but you are welcome to join. This is a safe space. My protest is, this budget that they passed will hurt millions of Americans. It will hurt the disabled. It will hurt children, women. It's going to hurt millions, and that's not okay with me. So I'm going to paint. I'm going to paint my feelings. I don't know what I'm going to paint yet. So join me. Let's figure it out together. There will be no chat to protect the space, but thank you. Thank you for being here. Let's paint. I didn't feel much like celebrating today, so I'm just gonna paint and create and hold space for people who are feeling the same way I am. This is acrylic paint on canvas board. It makes it more durable than just a regular canvas. Planned on going to a protest today, and I get there and there wasn't really anyone there, so that was disappointing. And it would have been my first protest in person, and I needed some place to put that energy, so this is it. I don't feel like doing fireworks or grilling hot dogs or burgers. Not when there's so much on the line. It just breaks my heart knowing that so many are going to be hurt by this budget. My mother passed away a couple of years ago, almost 3 years ago, and she was disabled. And I just keep thinking how much I miss her and wish she was here. But at the same time, I'm like relieved in a way that she's not going to have to suffer through this like so many are, right? But I wish she was here so I could talk to her and tell her, I don't know, just the camaraderie of it, you know, because I know she'd feel the same way that I do about it. That it's just absolutely horrendous and it's going to hurt so many and it's not right. Alright, so I was thinking, you know, maybe I do like the whole thing black, but this feels good and messy. This kind of feels how I'm feeling on the inside, right? It's a mess. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling heartbreak, a disappointment. I'm feeling all of that. So I think I might just leave it like this. And I'm going to add some red. I got some lipstick red here. I've got some palette knives I think I might play around with and just see how that goes. Here's my fancy palette. Oh. Yeah, and I'd like to have left the chat on, but I've had so many just really rude people coming in, and I was like, you know, this moment just kind of needs some reverence, you know, maybe not so much chatty chat. Yeah, I thought, you know, maybe an abstract painting would really touch on how I'm feeling. Messy. Devastated. I grew up poor, so, you know, we depended on government assistance for our medical stuff, and we depended on food stamps to have food, and we depended on churches to have clothes and food and, you know, have utilities paid for, you know, with help. And so to just see these things being taken away from people is absolutely disgusting. And it makes me very angry and upset. My mother was disabled. She had hypothyroidism. She had rheumatoid arthritis. Her feet had issues to where she couldn't walk, and it was devastating. And hard to see my mom suffer like that. But I also know she did the best she could. You know, she kept a clean house, a really clean house. You know, and she'd make dinner for us every day. And when we had, you know, food in the house, obviously. But yeah, she made sure we were clean and had, you know, clean clothes. And people think, you know, disabled people are lazy or stupid, and that's just so not true. It's not true. I have another palette knife here I think I might play around with too. Get a little more paint on the palette. Yeah, palette knives can be fun to play around with. So here's the one I'm going to use now. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe do some X's like that. A couple of X's. That's kind of mixed in a little. Just do it like that. I think that'll work. Yeah, I live fairly close to like a parade route, and so every year we hear the parade going, and heard it this year, and I'm just like, man, I don't get how people are celebrating. I'm just gonna take some of this paint off, I think. Not feeling that spot, so maybe try and work on that one a bit. There. Get some of that black back on there. So we'll have to let that dry a little bit before we add more of the red again. Yeah, this is acrylic paint on canvas board. I hope you can see it pretty good. There we go. Yeah, so I used a paintbrush for the black strokes. And for these red ones, I've used a palette knife. And I'm just trying to get out my feelings today. And this is my protest. So thank you for joining and being a part of it. Especially if you're feeling like I am. Where you're disappointed, you're angry, you're hurt. You don't know what to do with yourself. Every day I'm like, man, what are we going to do? How are we going to survive this? We live paycheck to paycheck. Me and my family. So, if they're raising everything so much, like how the hell are we gonna do it? This budget will kill people, and I know it's gonna hurt me and my family. I have disabilities with my health. I have hypothyroidism like my mother. I have arthritis similar to my mother. I've got all these issues, and they require medication, they require medical care, and I already struggle with being able to afford these things and doing without, and it's awful and it sucks, and I feel like my whole life I've been oppressed in one way or another by these systems that are in place that should help people but don't, and now it just feels like violence. That's what poverty feels like, is violence by these systems, and it's devastating. It is absolutely devastating. And I've been thinking a lot about Frida Kahlo and everything that she went through in her life, right? She went through health issues and political system issues and all of these things, and she struggled, and she wanted her voice to be heard, and in her life she didn't exactly get there, and in that way I feel similar in a way, because I'm not making a living with my art like I'd hoped. But that doesn't mean I'm giving up either. I'm not. I'm showing up every day and I'm working hard in spite of being disabled and chronically ill. I'm showing up and I'm speaking out, because what alternative is there, right? I'm not going to just roll over and lie down and say, yeah, okay, let's let these systems and oppression steamroll me. I can be a victim, or I can be a survivor, and I've been a survivor my whole life, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm surviving. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. Thank you for bearing witness. Alright. try this red again here. It's not quite dry, but it's getting there. Maybe a little like that. Okay. Come in over here. It's messy, but I think that's good. Alright. A little bit like that. Alright. So what are y'all thinking of this? If y'all like it, please be sure to like the live. I appreciate it. Please give me a sub. You know, we need more like-minded people coming together, and my art is usually very vibrant, colorful, happy, and but it's also kind of a protest because you know, they want us depressed, they want us sad, they want us dead, and I'm standing up and saying, no, we deserve to live and be heard, and my art also is a testament to that. I do create some protest resistance type art, feminist type art. So if y'all want to go check that out, there's a link in my profile for that, and it's greatly appreciated. I do have t-shirts and stickers available. Like I said, I want my art to help support my family, and so that is one of the big reasons why I create, but the biggest reason is because I feel like I have to. It's just who I am. It's a part of my being. It's in my soul. I have to do it. It's just what I do. I'm an artist. Whether I get paid or not, it's who I am. But yeah, so this represents the chaos and the emotions I'm feeling right now. It's confusing. It's disappointing. I'm angry. I'm heartbroken, disappointed, disgusted, absolutely disgusted. And this is representative of my feelings right now. And this, again, this is acrylic paint, and I used a big paintbrush for these black strokes, and for the red ones I used a palette knife. Thank you so much. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for watching and bearing witness and joining my protest. And even if I'm here alone, I'm here. I'm speaking up. Oh, I just looked out my window and realized it's raining. That, I don't know if y'all be able to see. Let me get this turned around. Yeah, so it's raining out there. And I know my desk is a mess. But it is what it is. 'Tis life. Messy. Yeah. But I am feeling a little better, for sure, sharing this art with you today and creating this with you today. I hope in some way that this has helped you as well. You know, maybe you're feeling like I am, and you need an outlet. Hopefully this live is helping a little bit, and you know, I completely urge you to go and create something yourself, because it does help your mental health. It helps you even physically. Like, you know, I suffer from anxiety, and creating really helps me to relieve that stress. So I always recommend to, you know, stressful and anxious people to create. It really is a good thing to do for yourself. You know, obviously other than exercise and stuff like that, which I also do. Alright, so this is one painting. Maybe I'll do another. If you'd like to see me do another, definitely drop a like. Subscribe if you want. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Alright, so one painting down. We're going to let this dry. And I think I might pull out another canvas and paint some more. I've got some time today. If y'all want to hang out and join my protest. Alright, so again, just canvas board. I'm not sure what size this is. 16 by 20. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 16 by 20. And that's what we're doing. Thank y'all so much for hanging out and joining my protest. We just finished this piece, all in acrylic. I'll give you an up close look. No music today. I feel like for the moment we need to be present. A lot of times with my lives, I'll do like a lo-fi type music, stress-free, you know, kind of chill vibes, and that helps a lot. And I always appreciate people who show up and chat with me. This time I didn't do a chat because I've had a lot of rude comments lately, and I just felt like this moment needed to be really present and not have that. So thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. And please forgive my messy studio. I've actually picked up, so if you can believe that. Yeah, and I'm wearing my women's rights t-shirt. I'll show you. Women's rights. I got water all over my shirt, but yeah. This is my protest gear. What I was going to go protest in today. I was like, yeah, I got to represent. Alright. Alright, so I got my big brush here. It's 2-inch brush. Probably my biggest brush that I have right now. We're just gonna add some paint and just, you know, feel it. We're just feeling today. I'm not trying to really figure out what we're gonna paint. We chose a couple of colors that feel right for the moment, and we're just going with it. It's messy because we feel messy in our hearts and our minds. Things are tough right now. This is a great way to get your feelings out. And being abstract, you know, every piece that you do is a little different. They won't all be exactly the same. And I love that. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, when I first got into painting, I did similar to this, like abstract with acrylic paint. And that's kind of really where I got my first taste of painting. I kind of like that just as it is, so I might just leave that. Get some more red paint here. That was the paint, I swear. Alright, so I got some folk art acrylic paint. This is what I'm using. It's lipstick red. The other one is black acrylic. Nothing fancy. Just some non-toxic paint. Alright, so the bigger palette knife does some pretty cool stuff. So I'm just gonna, see, Like, that's kind of cool. Just kind of randomly where I think there should be some paint, I'm going to stick it. Just getting a little messy. Getting our emotions out today. Once the black paint dries too, I might come in with some white paint and put words. You know, we'll see. See how it goes. The great thing about this is, you know, if you want to get into painting and you don't know what you're doing or whatever, you just want to get a feel for it, abstract is probably the way to go. And it was for me. I mean, it was a great place to start. Looks like an upside down heart. That's kind of cool. There, just looks like a heart. I always like putting like hidden hidden hearts in my art. And it kind of just goes with that. And I didn't even do it intentionally, so that's funny. Alright, I think that's not too bad. So that's piece number 2. Let's see how dry this first one is. No talking right now. I'm pretty sure that was spam, so they can just leave me alone. Alright, so a lot of this black is pretty well dry. So what I'm thinking now is coming in with some white and maybe like putting some words in on the black. So just gotta get some white paint over here on my canvas. I think I might put my brushes and everything into the water cup I brought in here. Alright, so for this I'll need a smaller brush for sure to get these words out. And this is just plain white matte acrylic paint. Nothing fancy. You can get this paint at Walmart, Michael's, any place like that. Alright, let's see what brushes I got here. Here's a little one. Drink of water too while I'm over here. I remember one year, I was in high school. Or no, it was middle school. Anyways, no, it was high school. Well, either way, one of those, Christmas time rolling around, and I guess, like we needed help with school clothes and things like that. And I guess one of the principals, like a vice principal or something, had, I don't know how it worked, but somehow they got like my clothing size and bought me like a whole mess of clothes. And they were just like the coolest clothes ever. Like the coolest clothes I think I ever had. I had like a Looney Tunes shirt And it meant a lot, right? Because these are things like my mom and dad really couldn't provide, and for that, generosity, it meant a lot. So, I think of moments like that where we were really struggling, but there were moments of kindness that really meant a lot and helped a lot. And that was nice. And of course, there's also moments where, you know, it was hell on earth to be poor, and people pass judgment on you for that, like it's some sort of fault of your own. Um, Especially when you're a kid, man, it is so rough. And I just think about all the people who are suffering and gonna suffer more because of this budget that's passed. So, yeah. I don't know how well this brush is gonna do. We'll see. It's kind of goobered up and stiff, so we'll see how that goes. For perfection. We're just trying to get our feelings out. Maybe have a little message in there. Like, one of my favorite things to say right now is like, even if it's just to myself, I don't like say it to anyone, but like, feminine rage. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing, when you've been oppressed and you lost your rights, or were never you never really had rights. There's a lot of that. When the systems oppress you, right, and your back's against the wall, you feel caged, there's a lot of that. Alright, let's see right here. Make sure y'all can see, okay? Yeah. So that says rage. I know it's backwards, but I need to see what's happening on the screen. That says rage. Alright, so the next word will say fear. Because there is a lot of fear with being impoverished, where you don't have money to survive. There's a lot of fear when it comes to being disabled. You're like, how am I going to pay for this? What am I going to do to survive? That kind of thing. How am I going to pay for these bills? That sort of thing. Alright, so rage and fear, that's where we're at. Trying to think what other words. Alright. And I'm also just trying to move around where there's paint that's dry. Some of this is still kind of wet. Fear, rage, pain. I think pain is fair. That's a word that we should put in here. I guess I'll put that right here in the middle. Pain. Alright, just trying to not set my hand in the paint. My first ever painting I ever had on exhibition was quite similar to this, actually, but it was all black. The background was all black, and then I came in with words in white and in red, and it was basically me getting my feelings out about my childhood trauma, all the pain and suffering I went through at the hands of a narcissistic father. And that was my first ever painting in an exhibition. called it soul murder, because that's exactly what it feels like living in that sort of condition, that sort of place, because, you know, constantly just beating you down, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that. Very raw and just very painful. Maybe move y'all in a little bit. There we go. Alright, did I get paint on my tripod? Maybe a little. Or it's okay. No big deal. Alright. So pain, rage, fear, suffering comes to mind. So trying to think, where can I fit in suffering? Maybe across here. But it's still a little wet, so I'll have to be careful. Be a little tricky. To put my hand here to steady. It's like S-U-F-R-I-N-G. Maybe if I come in here. Or no, maybe. Yeah, I'll do it this way. Okay, I like it. This is what we're doing. Suffering. It's like, this is what we're doing. We're suffering. That's true. That is true. July 4th usually is fireworks and hot dogs and, you know, laughter, and just not feeling that this year, you know. I actually haven't been feeling like that since, you know, Roe v. Wade was overturned. It's like, you know, just more rights as a female, as a woman, being taken away is painful. And that doesn't feel like a celebrating type moment, you know? So I actually haven't been doing that. I haven't been celebrating for a couple of years now. 2 or 3 years since all that happened. And it's hard to believe that we've gone that long like this, but, you know, and every day you wake up and you're looking at the news and you're like, Lord, how are we going to get through this? Every day is like a fresh hell. Maybe that's another word I could put, hell. Because that's what this is. It's like a hell on earth. Just being oppressed and having human rights and all that taken away is just awful. Alright. This might be a little wet here, so I'm just going to very gently go over that. Yeah, see, I streaked it a little with the red, but that's okay, who cares? All this is messy and painful, so it's okay if the art is a little messy and painful. I'm glad I can sit here in this moment and do this. You know, there's no telling how much longer we'll be able to sit in silence and in the comfort of our homes and just talk and express ourselves. So, there's just no telling. None of this is normal. None of this is okay. I want the G's to look similar, so I'm going to put a line down that one. Alright, so we got rage, pain, fear, suffering. Now over here we're going to put hell. Move it just a little bit so you can see. Doesn't always have to be pretty, you know. It can be messy, it can be raw, it can be emotional, it can be political. That's one thing, you know, some people believe that art isn't political. Like, it has been political. It is political. Today of all days, we should be expressing ourselves and, you know, how we disagree with what's going on. Right. Suffering, hell, pain, fear, rage. That's what we got. Some broken hearts. Also, so I'm going to do some hearts. And I sat my hand in the paint. Oh no! It happened. My red right hand. Have y'all ever heard of that song? His red right hand. Anyway, it's a song, I promise. I'm not just making it up. It's Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Sing that song. I think I first discovered that song through X-Files. I've always been interested in like aliens and Bigfoot and Loch Ness and all of that stuff, and so I just loved X-Files. Alright, I think I might put one up here, so I'm going to flip it so I can get to it easier, and we'll put it upside down, because why not? So to everyone just tuning in, this is acrylic paint on a 16 by 20 canvas board. And if you're interested in these after the live, please feel free to comment if you're interested. I may put these in my Ko-fi shop. It's been my dream to support my family with my art, and you know, living paycheck to paycheck sucks, but if this art speaks to you and you want it, I want you to have it. I want it to be in a place where it will be appreciated and taken care of. That's all I want for my art, really, in the end, is to just, you know, have a place to be taken care of, you know what I mean? If that makes any sense. I feel like my art is kind of just like my children. They're my brain babies, my soul babies. Alright, so this is what we got. I know it's backwards, but it says rage, hell, pain, suffering, and over here is fear. The reason I have the camera flipped like this is so that I can see better. But it kind of sucks for everybody else seeing everything backwards, especially when there's words. But yeah, it helps me. Okay. So I'm kind of wondering, should I do like a white paint splatter as well? I'm kind of feeling it. I'm kind of thinking that's the way we need to go. So let me get another paintbrush. Luckily I have several. Let's see what we got here. This one could work. Alright, so we'll get that. Okay. So I just load my brush up with white paint, and then I will show you how to paint splatter, or how I do it anyways. And this does get really messy, so just be aware of that. Alright, so I got another brush here, and I will just, like that, tap, tap, tap. And I'm probably getting covered in paint right now. Alright, I'm going to quit while I'm ahead and wipe off, because I can feel paint all over me. Oh, it's on my pants. But that's okay. We're in the moment. We're feeling it. It's okay. Now, this paint is non-toxic, so that's great. If you get your clothes with a little bit of paint, you know, you can get them right into the wash right away, and they should just come right off. I think I just made my pants toast, but that's okay. I think these pants were kind of on their way out anyhow. Alright. What do y'all think? This is kind of what I would consider like grunge type art. I was a teenager in the 90s, and I absolutely love grunge. I love grunge art. So like Nirvana, Hole with Courtney Love, she had some good songs. I really liked her Gold Dust Woman version. Oh my gosh, that was so good. Doll Part, great song. Of course, I was into 9 Inch Nails back then, and you know, Soul Asylum. Who else? Who else? Alice in Chains. All those people. Yeah. Right, so I got like a big paint splatter here over the E, but it is what it is, and I think it turned out pretty good. I got white paint everywhere, all over myself. I can even feel it on my face. I wouldn't be a bit surprised when I get done. I go check it out in the mirror. I'm covered in paint. But yeah, it's been cathartic and really helpful, and I'm really glad I came in here and did my little protest today, my little protest art. Thank you so much for being here. I know today is supposed to be a day of celebration and everything, but it just doesn't feel that way to so many right now, and myself included. And that's why I came in here and wanted to do my art. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Alright, so we got that one painting done. I believe that's just finished. We're going to leave that. And we can come in here and maybe give this one a similar treatment. Alright, so once again, with paint, I'm going to do some words. I think I'll get a drink of water first though. Yeah, it's raining outside right now. I'm really happy about that because we need the rain. We've been in a drought. So the rain helps for sure. Okay. Gosh, I'm just trying to think of what I want to put. Really have to be thoughtful you know. Like my last painting, I put pain, suffering, fear, hell. What do I want to say on this one? All I'm thinking is, when can I be free? When can I be free? And I know that there's people out there suffering in other countries way worse than I am right now. But, you know, that doesn't take away from the suffering I've had to endure, that other people in this country have had to endure. When do we get to be free? I think I'll put it here. When do I get to be free? And we'll just come down here a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. It kind of just adds to like the grunge punk type feel. When do I get to be free? I think I'll do these in all capital here at the end here. Yeah, I wish I could have protested today, but the protest just did not work out. Like, I showed up, and then like just a couple other people showed up, and then they left. Like, didn't even get out of their cars. So I'm sitting there like, I guess we're not having it. So I left. It was really disappointing. And then I had all that energy left. Like, I still want to protest. So I was like, how can I do that? And this is my way. This is my protest. I'm not doing fireworks. I'm not doing hot dogs. Just not today. Not feeling it. Question mark. When do I get to be free? I could do. Like, I'm thinking, you know, when do I get to be free? Equality. Like, when is there ever really truly been equality? Right? There's still the pay difference amongst females and males. And it's just like, that's not right, you know. And then why are men and women treated different? Why are people, minorities, treated different? LGBT treated different? Why? You know, we're all human. So I'm thinking human rights. Human rights, when do I get to be free? But does that make sense? When do I get human rights? When do I get to be free? Stop oppressing me. Oppression is violence. Oppression is violence. That makes sense. Alright, I think we'll do that. I think it'll fit here. Oppression is violence. And I will try not to set my hand in paint again. We'll see. Set it in paint again. Oh no, and then I like picked up the red paint instead of the white paint. Yeah, that happens. I need they have an artist bar that goes across the painting that it doesn't touch the painting, and you can set your arm on the bar. I need one of those. That would be really helpful, so I could steady my hand and not set my hand in the paint. Oppression is 2 P's, right? I'm pretty sure. Oppression. And you know what? I can't check because my phone is live. I wonder, can I pause the live? It doesn't appear I can. Poopy. Alright, I'm going to go have to ask somebody. I'm pretty sure oppression is 2 P's, but I want to make certain. Alright, I will be back. Remember, I have an iPad in here. Like, hello? Duh. Okay, let me check on my iPad. I'm like setting my paint on it and everything. Alright. Yeah, it's always good to double check your spelling before you commit it to anything. Yes, 2 P's. That's what I thought. Alright, we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna try and get these clothes in the wash after and hope that the paint comes out. If not, I just got some unique paint. Yeah, and there's 2 S's in it too. I thought so, but I wanted to make absolutely certain before I got into it. Set my hand in the paint again. Just a little bit. Alright, for violence, it's Violence, I think. Let's see if I'm right. Yes, that is right. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking violence. Violent. That's how my mom taught me how to read. Sound it out like Wednesday is Wednesday. I think there's a lot of people out there like that, though. Like, I've heard other people say that. There was a Pearl Jam song where he goes violent, which I always thought was funny. Maybe not funny, but interesting. I think it's that Even Flow song. That's another grunge band, Pearl Jam. Yeah, I did the whole thing when I was a teenager. I'd wear the flannels, and I had these black suede shoes, and I rocked the whole vibe. I would wear band t-shirts. I had a Bush t-shirt I absolutely loved. I think I had a Metallica shirt. Or no, it wasn't a Metallica shirt, but it had like lightning on it, and it made me think of Metallica. I think that's what it was. Maybe do a couple more of these. This is kind of the art like style I did when I was a teenager. I would draw and do stuff similar to this. Alright. So oppression is a violence. When do I get to be free? What else could I put? I was thinking like humankind to be both, but like I don't know if that's like a copyrighted thing, so I don't know if I could put that. Oh, put the human in humanity. That sounds cheesy though, doesn't it? But it's true. It's true. We should totally do that. I don't know. Maybe I could do some like frowny faces with X's for eyes. That might be something I could do. It's raining pretty good outside. I wonder if they'll cancel the fireworks this year. I doubt it. We'll see. Probably stops raining before then. I will not be attending the fireworks, but yeah. Alright. Just like probably should do some paint splatter on this one too. I just feel like, are these two sayings enough? Oppression is violence. When do I get to be free? Mm-hmm. Oh, I could put an X on that I. I didn't do that. I was just thinking about school lunches, how I wouldn't have had, breakfast sometimes, or definitely wouldn't have had lunch if it wasn't for that program when I was a kid, and just how that's gonna go away for so many. Meals on Wheels is another thing that's been affected and gutted, and all of that taken away. They're, like Planned Parenthood is probably out the door now. All these programs that help, like with breast cancer screenings and other screenings, just poof, and it's like, oh my god. And I was thinking today too, there's people who like socialism is bad, and like, but just social media, right? Everybody comes together. You find people who are similar to you, and good or bad, you can like affect change, but it's social. We're humans. We're social. That's what we do, right? We're seeking out. That's what we do. We're seeking, and like social security, social, and then you're secure. Like, those aren't bad things. So I don't get it. I'm just kind of thinking out loud right now, but I'm trying to come up with another line, maybe something to say. Maybe resist. Just straight up resist. I think that might be it. I think that's what we'll do. I'll see if I can maybe fit it across here, maybe? I don't know. Where should I put that? I should have put more black in here if I was going to do that, though. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll try and make it work. Maybe I could try and put it up here, maybe. Maybe that's where I should put it. Okay. I think I might stand up for this. Get to it maybe a little bit easier doing it that way. We'll see. Let's see. Come up a little bit. I'm gonna turn it, I think. Maybe like that. Alright. Just trying to get where I can be comfortable and do this. It's gonna be easy. Yeah, okay. I felt pretty comfortable, so I'm just gonna keep on trucking. It's gonna be a little tricky in here because I can tell that that big glob of paint is still probably wet. So we'll see. We will see. yes, my friends, that is wet. Alright. See how this goes. Wish me luck. Should probably wait till it dries, but whatever, we're just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna try and be gentle and maybe not break that paint skin that's drying there too much. Alright, I think I did it. And then how did I get all this paint on me? All this. It's everywhere now. Alright. Yeah. See? Got it everywhere. But that's fun. It's a little fun. It kind of sucks when you ruin your clothes, but I try not to paint in clothes I really like. If that makes any sense. Alright. So here's the T for resist. Paint. Pretty sure I got that on the tripod that time. Alright. Definitely got white paint on the floor, but it's not too bad. I think I got it mostly on myself. This is just getting on me. And again, covered in paint. But it comes clean in the water. I'm mostly just concerned about my shirt. One of my favorite shirts, and I got paint on it, but that's okay. Alright. So this is it. Resist. When do I get to be free? Oppression is violence. Of course, the frowny faces, because need I say more? Yeah. So that's where we're at. Alright, so this is an abstract grunge piece in acrylic on 16 by 20 canvas board. So that was one of my paintings. I did 2 for this today. This one says rage, hell, suffering, fear, pain, and broken heart. So these are the paintings today. Thank you so much for making some time for me today, spending some time with me. And if you're feeling the way I'm feeling, I hope that this was somehow cathartic. It helped me feel a little bit better. I know times are crazy, stuff's getting absolutely dangerous, and to speak up can be dangerous, but it can be dangerous to not speak up too. So I felt it was important to do so today. And yeah, thank you again for spending today with me and making time. And I just appreciate you so much. And I got paint on my face. It's in my eyebrows. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'm gonna get cleaned up and chill out with my family for the rest of the day. I hope you carve out some time to where you feel safe and can chill out as well. Rest, reset. You know, it's all we can do is our best, and hopefully we can meet the moment with dignity and grace. Yeah. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I hope my art and this time gave you some solace. Thank you so much. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all soon. Take care. Have a great week and a good weekend and all of that. Take care, everyone. Bye.